Las Vegas Discount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. Las Vegas Discount.net. Las Vegas Discount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit Las Vegas Discount.net.
FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net Radio!
Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
And lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with White? He's a piece of crap.
Oh. Oh. Oh, shit. Shit, Andrew.
You're not doing it. You're not doing this. You're not doing that.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. We have a midweek show, lots to cover, lots to discuss. We're going to jump straight into our Facebook timeline, and then in the second half of the show, we'll give you a complete breakdown of Pacquiao versus Thurman. On Friday, we will have a live video of me and Bobby before the weigh-ins, breaking down the prop sheets. If something, I don't think anything's going to happen at the weigh-ins other than guys making weight. We should have video of the weigh-in, how to bet it with Bobby. It's just an excuse for me to go to Vegas, Andrew. Really, that's what it is. There is no viable reason. Tell me, if you weren't single guy, you'd go to Vegas to shoot a video with Bobby, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right? It's Friday night in Vegas, party weekend. Everything is all chilled out. Everything is great. So if this is your first time, hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name's Lee Honish. That guy on the other end of the line is Andrew Labouche. He is my long-standing partner in crime, co-producer, good buddy, love him to death. He makes us do this show repeatedly. Why do you keep making us do this show, Andrew?
There was big news this week.
There you go. That's why we're doing the show.
That's right.
We're actually on our Facebook page right now. Follow us at FightNet Radio. You'll see us all over Facebook. We are very active, Andrew. Let's start right off. We'll just go in. I'm not going to go in any other order but the posting itself, right? So we won't talk about your fireworks on the drone, although that's funny, Andrew. I saw that post. You're the best, bro.
That's the future. You know that's the future, right? You know how many guys are going to be doing that next year?
If you haven't seen the video, go to Fight Net Radio. It's running around on the Man channels. You stole this from the Man channel, right? What's this from? Barstools. Chris Stewart, Man channel, Barstool. I get all of them. Basically, somebody put a Roman candle on a drone, and it's brilliant. And chased the people down with it. Is this like an ice raid? Looks like an ice raid. Looks like a futuristic ice raid. Yeah,
it looks like 4th of July next year, I'll tell you that. Yeah. There's going to be drone wars going on.
I have a drone, bro. I have a drone.
They're going to be drone challenges.
Well, look, didn't I send you that thing about the fight that's up north, right? I'll just stop and pick up a couple of Roman candles. I'll bring my drone, right? We'll take the kids. And then Christina will never let them out with us again. Oh, can you imagine the story she brings back? Mommy, you'll never believe what Lee and Daddy did. Moving on, Sean Porter's going to fight Errol Spence for some unapparent reason that's only obvious to I don't know who. East West Boxing has learned and is reporting that welterweight unification bout between IBF champ Errol Spence and WBC champ Sean Porter will take place at the Staples Center. Again, a location that makes no sense for either fighter, Andrew. I'm pretty sure they're both from the East Coast. On Fox pay-per-view. The only thing in Los
Vegas
Angeles
and Texas.
Right. But here's the other thing. The only thing out here in LA, Andrew, is Fox. There's nothing else out here. These guys don't have a crowd out here. They haven't fought out here. I think Porter might have fought in LA once at the Dignity Healthcare Fiasco Park, right? Maybe once on a PBC card.
I'm guessing Jerry Jones didn't like the ticket sales that Spence and Garcia did. Huh? Anyone? Why would he not bring them back, Lee?
No idea, Andrew. I can't even for the life of me try to
He's from Texas.
figure this out of my brain.
I thought they sold 47,000 seats or some shit like that. Why isn't the kid headlining over there in Dallas again?
No idea.
I have no idea either. I don't know what the hell's going on. No, what blows me away more about the shit is it's pay-per-view. Pay-per-view. Like, who's buying this fight? Seriously. Porter.
I agree.
Porter's just not that guy anymore. He once was maybe gonna be a very household name. He was a very exciting fighter, fan favorite, I guess you say style was. But no. Pay-per-view, hell no. I don't know what the PBC is doing. I have no idea. They don't have people that want to buy these fights. Is Showtime giving up? Is Showtime not even trying anymore? Because didn't Showtime used to have like a
straight
budget?
up phoning it in now?
Hey Lee, seriously, didn't they have a budget before like of 18 million? Or would they write one check to Deontay for Dominic Breezel and was like, that's it. We're done for the year.
We're done.
Hey,
I mean, it took a lot of work.
Hey, Showtime don't want Spence versus Porter. They think he'll do better on pay-per-view. All right.
Right. I agree with you. I think it's complete what's the word I'm looking for? Horsepucky? Horsepucky is a word my dad would use. Horsepucky. I like horsepucky.
I wish we had Steven Espinosa's number, bro. Swear to God. I would love to know what
I don't understand that
right
dude.
now.
I don't understand his logic. Okay, in this case, this isn't Steven Espinosa. It's Fox pay-per-view. Not
I know, but Showtime has to be like, what the fuck? We don't get anything anymore? Nothing.
No, they don't. They're over Espinosa now too.
Hey, I think so. I think Al Heyman has turned his back on him. That guy gave Al Heyman a lot of dates. There was a lot of back scratching going on there. For what? At the end of the day, he took all of his fighters and moved on. Did Espinosa even get a job? I hope he gets a job with the PBC once Showtime cuts his ass.
Right? I think it's fantastic. Personally, I find it all very entertaining. I'm completely amused by all of their To me, they're amusing to no end. Look, they are like a company that's business. Like the things that don't make sense other than just throwing spaghetti against the wall to see how it sticks.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of my impression of how they're behaving, more or less.
Rumors are Mikey Garcia walked out. He walked out of negotiations with Danny.
Not a surprise.
Yep.
Not a surprise. Why would you want to deal with that when you don't have to, right?
And the money's probably being offered better over in ESPN right now. I would say DAZN, but I know ESPN wants that Lomachenko showdown. Top Rank just has a lot more they can do at Mikey, I believe, than DAZN. DAZN's very limited. DAZN has Hooker and
Hookers?
Hooker and Ramirez. Hooker,
Oh, not hookers.
yeah, that unification's going down on
You think
Dad.
they have hookers? Like,
No.
how much is Rome burning in your mind? Like, they're just like, fuck it, cocaine and hookers all the way around. Let's just spend the lots of the money.
But no,
Like, they're just
they have
partying
that
up on
fight. They
people's
have the
farm.
piece of that 140 title going down on their site. Bob Arum works with ESPN. He just has a lot more. And I think the Lomachenko is a bigger fight right now for Mikey Garcia than anything. And if he's looking for, big fights, the PBC, he did his with the PBC. There's nothing left. Him and Spence had a pay-per-view.
He outlasted the PBC. Bob
Yep.
Arum is the smartest man in boxing ever.
You're damn right.
I can't blow Bob hard enough. And
people to underestimate the power of De La Hoya. When
Hold on.
when the industry seen what Heyman and Schaefer were doing, I think they started getting blackballed. Oh, they took his money. They took that. Oh, every time he paid them $20 million to put some fights on TV, they'll take that check. When it came to do something back for these guys, nah. If you look at people, Richard Schaefer didn't even get break back in with his World Boxing Series in America, and it had the Muhammad Ali trophy at the end. Yet it wasn't being shown in here. De La Hoya had something to do with that. De La Hoya's lawsuit that he won. Go ahead. Is that Bob Arum?
Excuse me,
Yes,
Andrew.
sir. Yes, sir.
Did somebody say blow me?
Wherever we can get it.
You're not 187 years old like me. You don't remember when they used to make stones and shit out of straw and spit to build New York City like me, right?
Right.
Boxing was built on the backs of Jews in New York, right? Bare knuckle brawling, 25 rounds, and then a brilliant guy like me comes along and turns it into an organized sport. I get pay-per-view.
It might have been a little before
I
you.
get pay stations. And then, Andrew, you know what I do? You know what I do next? I put the fuckers out of business. They think they're bigger than the Bob. Who's bigger than the Bob? And again, who said blow me?
There you go.
Very nice.
Regulars. That was audio. That's just the audio portion of the program only. Let's move forward. We have a lot to cover. We have a special guest coming up in a few minutes. Canelo, let me turn the recorder back on for this. Ooh, real video for this section. Let's see if it
doesn't he want to talk about this? What is Raimundo going to talk about?
It doesn't really matter. Hi, everyone. We're still on the timeline. Go to Fight Net Radio on Facebook, where you can check this out. This note was sent to me by none other than Raimundo Diosas, who sent me this note, Andrew, and sent it to me this morning. And for those of you who don't know, this is what it reads. Los Angeles, Golden Boy and Canelo Alvarez have made a strategic decision to postpone their typical September fight. The decision was made in an effort to secure the right opponent to do justice to the level of promotion required for boxing stars of his magnitude. This was written by the PR group, Andrew. Though Canelo typically fights in May and September, it is not without precedent to fight later in the year. Yes, when you get caught for steroids and a bad knee. Isn't that what happened last time, Andrew? He skipped because he had a bad knee and steroids. So I guess they're right. It's not without precedent in a strange way. Canelo did fight in December of 2018 in Madison Square Garden. Canelo's next fights will now take place later in 2019. As a Mexican, it's a responsibility and an honor to represent my country in both May and September, said Canelo Alvarez. Those are my dates. I'm doing it with emphasis like you would. Am I doing a good job? Those are my dates. However, as world champion in multiple weight classes, I also have the responsibility. You really think he talks like that? I've seen him talk. I've heard him talk. I also have, that's actual proper grammatic English, Andrew. This is the PR group. I also have the responsibility of delivering the most exciting and competitive fights possible. That's why Golden Boy and my team have decided to postpone the date in order to do right by the fans, promoting the best fight possible with the best opponent possible. In other words, Kovalev won't take $8 million, Andrew. I think that's basically what we're being told here.
Yeah. Seems like they didn't take any of the opponents. I don't know what a few months is going to change, though. You see, that's why I highly doubt it has anything to do with opposition. Demetrius Andrade, 60 days from now, isn't going to become a ticket seller. Am I lying?
No.
Sergey Kovalev, 60 days from now, 90 days from now, all of a sudden isn't going to get 1 million more Instagram followers.
Yardy? No.
Something else happened. Could be a lingering injury. Maybe it's an injury that came back. Maybe the knee injury that you just talked about came back. And he doesn't want people to know, because then you'll look in the history of Canelo's career and go, wait a minute. You've had a right hand issue for like 3 years. You had a knee issue for 3 years. Could this be what postponed this fight? Remember, he's a hard puncher. If you ever watch him spar, if you ever watch him hit the heavy bag, everything Canelo does is with power. I highly doubt it had anything to do with opposition. Nothing changes, Lee. He's the ticket seller. You guys need to understand this. When Canelo goes to the ring, people watch. When he fought Rocky Fielding, it was the most viewed app that weekend. That don't change. It was Rocky fucking Fielding, right? You're telling me he gets in with someone else and now they're not watching? This is a guy, ultimately, who's fought in everyone that people wanted to see. I've always told you guys this. I don't know why people hate on this man. It has nothing to do with opposition. He could fight anyone he wants right now. He just got done fighting Daniel fucking Jacobs. Why does he always have to fight everyone that's number one? God, I remember a guy who never did that, and we called him the best for years. Fuck out of here. Not because of opposition.
You okay? Did you have coffee?
I'm having my coffee right now. Well, it's kind of maddening. Triple G twice, moves up in weight, fights another champion, Rocky Fielding, comes back and down, fights the number one contender in Daniel Jacobs. People are like, yeah, Dazin don't like the people he's fighting. What? Dazin's in love with this guy. Not only does he fight the number one guy, he wins. That Daniel Jacobs fight, do you know how many fans he made that night with that head movement? How soon we forget. That's what I do. My cup's almost gone. Where are we at? I'm telling you people right now, it's not opposition. It's going to be an injury. It's going to be a recurring injury too. The hand, the knee, you call it.
Whatever that'll stall out for him. I don't even know if those are real things.
There's nothing to stall. There's nothing to stall. What do they stall?
Andrew?
The only thing they could be stalling is a Triple G third fight? This guy has beat him 2 times. He's went 24 rounds. Triple G hasn't looked, what's the word? What's the word, Lee? The first fight was more competitive than the second one, right? It got worse for Triple G as that fight carried on. So what changes in fight 3 where he's a year older? Scared. Once again, this thing stalling. The kid's fought in everybody, but stalling. Okay.
You're very pro Canelo.
Just calling it like it is, man.
Just saying, bro. Very pro the Canelo. And lastly, from news and notes, you've probably seen it if you're any kind of boxing fan. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker died this past week as part of a car accident, Andrew. Not anything strange. I'm not even going to bring up his shady ass past, which would have been probably a little less shocking than a car accident if somebody had said, nope, got shot in a drug deal. I did bring it up, didn't I? He is arguably one of the greatest all time. I can make an argument for it. He was definitely one of the best pound for pound fighters of his era. He definitely handed a whole lot of shit to Justo Chavez back in his prime. Pernell Whitaker was legendary for his speed, probably, and I would make this argument, Andrew, Lou Duva's best fighter? Question mark?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
Right?
He fought Chavez at 31. Meldrick Taylor fought Chavez at 29 or 28. It's a big difference in age there. Taylor was a bad man. Don't fault him because he ran into one of the greatest in Chavez. Pernell Whitaker waits 3 weight divisions before he steps in the ring with Chavez. 3. They were champions in both in the lightweights, in the junior welterweights. They were champions in both of those. They never face each other. He waits and he makes Chavez move to welterweight at 31 years of age and then fights him. Very good game plan, but I don't know if he was due his best. I think ultimately it would have been Meldrick Taylor. Just Meldrick Taylor. Remember, Meldrick Taylor comes back from that horrific fight with Chavez, puts him in the hospital for 2 weeks to become number 1, a 2-time champion in the welterweight division after the surgeries, the fractured skull, the drinking of their own blood. No, Meldrick Taylor was a monster himself. Then the dumbasses put him in the ring with Terry Norris. Whole nother story. Back to Whitaker.
That is a whole nother story.
Yeah, assholes. Pernell was one of the best defensive fighters of all time. I don't like, he lost as a lightweight, so you can't, some people have him the greatest lightweight right above Duran. I don't know. Mine will always be Chavez, but he only fought 2 or 3 guys there. That's why they won't rank him that high as a lightweight, even though the 2 guys were both champs, and Luis Ramirez and Edwin Rosario. Rosario was the hardest hitting lightweight when he took him down. Ramirez beat Whitaker. You understand that? Ramirez beat Whitaker by decision. He goes to junior welterweight, and he beats Rafael Pineda, I believe, for the IBF title. You can fact check that, but I think that's who he beat at the junior welterweights. Chavez went there and beat Meldrick Taylor and Roger Mayweather for the titles, and them 2 never meet. Then Whitaker moves up and faces Buddy McGirt. Then the infamous fight with Chavez and De La Hoya. What people don't understand about the De La Hoya controversy decision is Whitaker brought that upon himself. When Whitaker beat, watch my words. When Whitaker got a draw, Lee, everyone, he said it. When Whitaker got a draw, shut up, Lee.
Homer.
When Whitaker got a draw to Chavez, he kind of stops listening to HBO. HBO was trying to guide his career into a rematch with Chavez, and he wanted no part of it. There was an offer of $10 million on the table. Whitaker never takes it. Moves up to fight Julio Cesar Green. I believe that's the WBA junior middleweight champ. Comes back. He has a Hurtado, I know, was a good victory in this time frame. I believe that's a knockout victory on a contender, but he's taking on nobody that was the level of Chavez. And until he fights De La Hoya, man, and HBO wasn't having it. And ultimately, I think that's what cost him his title in that fight. If you look up his career after the Chavez, he goes kind of haywire. Kind of pulls a Hopkins kind of did the same thing. If you remember Hopkins after he beats Trinidad, kind of stops listening to HBO, wants to start doing his own thing, right? Thinks he's the A side. So that's what really happened to Whitaker at the end. Whitaker probably should have rematched Chavez. That would have been a huge payday for him. Winnable fight. Chavez would be another year older. I think Frankie Randall would have already happened. But he didn't do it. He chose not to.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Very sad that he got hit by a car. It happened in his hometown, though. And he's had some troubles there. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing plays out, if this was a freak accident or something more.
Yeah, the reports aren't yet in. Toxicology usually takes a while, but yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. And because
That-
I believe he was ran over, Lee. He was hit by a car while he was on the street.
Ooh, I would hate to find out that he was just drunk and stumbling about.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe we should have put that at the end of the show. It seemed very solemn.
He had a good career. He had a very good career. Gold medal winner, multi-division winner. You said it was Duva's baby. You got to remember, though, Duva lost a lot of men to that Julio Cesar Chavez kid. He lost a lot of good fighters. He wasn't trying to lose Whitaker, and that's ultimately why he waited 4 divisions to put Whitaker in the ring with that dude.
I'm with you.
The same guy that boxed him to 24 rounds, Chavez beat in 1 fight and took his wife. It's another sad thing about that Ramirez. It's only a rumor, people. I didn't confirm it, but it is a rumor. Whooped his ass and took his wife.
Whooped his ass, took his wife.
El Chapo got life in prison today.
Life. Taking a deep breath right here.
That's a good
segue. That
Whenever
is a good segue. You have to remember, I got to make video and I got to make audio, right? So I'm pausing the video and resetting that. But the podcast people get all the behind the scenes dirt, like the El Chapo rant, which, by the way, I still expect him to escape.
He got life in 30 years, man. I don't know. Looks like it's a done deal. He even said it himself. They're about to throw me in a place and you're going to forget my name.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, bro, we are. I don't want to break it to you.
$12 billion. I don't even know if the man has that in assets anymore, but that's leaving his estate.
They're just taking everything. They're just stripping him of everything and sticking him into a dark hole.
Yep.
He's a scumbag.
He said he has to put homemade earplugs out of tissue in his ears because the fans are way too loud in his prison cell.
They didn't give him any windows. They don't give him any yard time. Oh, they treat him like dog shit. I love it.
He said my ears hurt. Oh, poor El Chapo. Like everyone started laughing. There was a chuckle in the courtroom.
Yeah. All right. I will insert, go to LasVegasDiscount.net. Go to LasVegasDiscount.net for all your needs. Go to FightNetRadio.com. Click. Hold on, I'm texting and typing.
I need to know.
Yeah.
Did the heavyweight champ throw a shout out to El Chapo? It might be in the
I thought he was still. I honestly thought he was still trying to evade ICE at the moment. No, really, I'm from the U.S. No, that's not what you said publicly, bro.
That's not what you said Mexican. The other day. You're a jerk. I'm laughing. I'm a jerk.
You're a jerk too.
Yeah.
Did anybody comment on, like, this is just us and the podcast people. Anybody comment on the fine new audio rig and that they can hear you better now without the echo?
Oh, I don't know. No, not that I heard of or seen.
Oh. It sounds so much better.
Very nice.
So much better. And considering that the other device was actually really good, for whatever reason, it just picked up a little bit of room echo. Now you got that nice headset. You're slamming. Pretty soon we'll have the backdrop in and we won't have the Andrew puppet on the videos.
You don't want to see me right now.
No, I understand. That's why we have the Andrew puppet.
Christina,
I've got a Raimundo puppet. I've got an Andrew puppet. Guarantee this for the regulars. I am going to do a Sam puppet.
Sometimes Christina comes in and kisses me. Look at the quiet. Why are you so quiet?
I'm not being quiet. We are joined. No, that's funny. I don't even want to know what's going on in your house. Like, you're getting action in the middle of a show and you just admitted to it. And since mostly your family listens to the show.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
Hey.
We've actually paused the video. This is just us and the podcast people. This is the diehard regulars right now. And apparently Andrew has just disclosed that he gets action in the middle of the show. Apparently, Christina tries to come in and distract him.
Hell yeah.
I believe that to be a
Hell yeah.
euphemism for something totally different.
He just wants me to do a video.
That's great.
Yeah, right. That's what it is, bro.
Hey, whenever we can get it, we gotta get it.
That's right.
Married people.
You guys feel me? Whenever it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Yeah.
All right, so I got my Raymundo puppet up, and I'm going to say this to all the people listening to the podcast. Go check out the video. I'm going to run some video and cover some stuff that happened. You guys will appreciate it. It'll be available on our Facebook page. Let me get my image up on the screen as well. Where am I? I want to be up there with the puppets. It's me live with 2 puppets. How crazy is the fact that we do that? I just think it's hilarious that we do that. All right.
What's up, Andrew Labouche?
What's up, bro?
Welcome back, everyone.
I am looking.
Guys, you're doing a total meet and greet right now.
I am looking up to see if the heavyweight champ has commented on the fact that El Chapo got life in prison today.
I'm going to say this again. We have a hard out in 26 minutes. All right. I'm giving you guys a forum to talk about the upcoming fight. And you guys want to talk about El Chapo and Andy Ruiz, who I've said already for the podcast people is currently on the run from ICE. So, do you have any, either of you guys being of Latin persuasion, have any ICE run-ins this past week? Were you guys harassed in any way?
I have not.
No, I
was not.
Oh, there you go. I was.
Do they even do that down here, or is that just up there in Southern California?
I haven't seen shit. I'm in Oceanside in San Diego, and to be perfectly honest, there has been no drama. I haven't seen anything. I'm right by Checkpoint Charlie, which is the last checkpoint going out of San Diego. Nobody was checking my U-Haul coming in or out of the city. It's been pretty low key down here, actually. Huh. So there you go.
Well, there's like two Mexicans in Oceanside. Right? I mean,
hitting stop on the video.
I'm just hitting stop.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just hitting stop on the video. You guys, look, I'm telling you right now, like the people listening to this podcast, this must be a great podcast. I personally like podcasts that go off the rails. This podcast is way off the rails already. I would like a clean video. I'm just saying this as the producer of all things content for you guys. I was going to say fools because I got a guy showing up to unload my moving truck because I'm just too fucking lazy to unload it. So I dangled
6 p.m. Oh yeah, sorry, Lee.
No, it's all right.
6
Look,
p.m.
I literally dangled $100 on Craigslist, and I literally it blew up. Like I couldn't even believe how many hits I got.
Hopefully he doesn't come over just to rob you for the $100.
Yeah, is it a Mexican? Did you?
It could be. ICE might be chasing him. All right.
There it is.
Here we go, everyone. Welcome back. Let's talk about Pacquiao and Thurman. We are joined by our insider expert. He is connected to multiple nefarious organizations. Some we can discuss and some we cannot discuss. He is the guy who broke the story that fell flat on his face. And if I gave these guys 20 minutes, they would just simply talk about Canelo Alvarez. We are not going to do that. We are not. That's not what we're here to discuss. Everybody stay focused. It's a 3-man booth. Right. I got to keep this focused. All right. I will direct the questions. I will give you guys all the feedback. I want your feedback so that we have a nice, concise 20 some odd minutes talking about this fight. Do you see me in the video giving you the eyes? All right.
Yep.
For those of you living under a rock, Manny Pacquiao has come out of his shell for yet another appearance. That will be on July 20th to face none other than Keith One-Time Thurman. I want to start right off before we get into predictions or comments. Have any of you guys actually witnessed I'm putting it up on the screen so you guys can look at it. If you have not seen it, type in Keith Thurman sparring, right? Keith Thurman literally looks like the most uninspired man in professional boxing. Yeah, okay. I can't believe these videos,
Jr.
bro. This is his training video for the fight.
He's getting up off the ground. Hey, look, that's training how to get up off the canvas. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He might need that.
I mean, this isn't Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Ay. Look, you know what we've been saying, Raimundo?
What you been saying?
They waited, 2 years for this man to come back and get one fight with Tosito Lopez, year and a half, 2 years, however long he was out. He comes back, he looks like shit, and maybe he just signed the pay-per-view just to get the one last check, man. Maybe if he knocks Manny out, he knocks him out, but I don't I don't know.
Are there any plates on that?
You know,
come on, dude. He's doing one plate. He's doing one plate.
You know what? Hey, rewind that, Lee. You're right.
Oh, my God. Is anybody watching his training videos besides me? Look at this. One plate on either side.
That's how many plates do you do?
Actually, when I'm training for IB, okay, you really, truthfully, if I'm going to IBJJF, right, I'm going to compete in the Pan Games, a whole hell of a lot more than that at my fucking squats. Double that. Minimum double that even at my age. For sure on those. But this, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? This is what you put out as your, I'm coming for you, Manny. Look at this. Single plates either side.
Hey,
that's maybe 150.
That's his Rocky moment in the snow? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's the high kick in the snow.
Well, didn't he do his last training camp at 24 Hour Fitness? Didn't he say that? Like he didn't have a trainer or something, and he just gymmed it just like us regular folk.
Bandit Pop Squats getting ready for Manny Pacquiao. Hashtag winning.
You gotta love these PBC guys.
Bro, you're not winning. Bro, you're not winning. Bro, you're not winning, bro. You're doing resistance training against
Andy Ruiz. Looks like he doesn't even train. I hope he does. He doesn't look like he does. You got Deontay Wilder. He just tells us he swims all day, right? He loves being in the pool.
Well, no, that's reclining in the pool. He doesn't actually train in the pool. He lays in the pool carefully with a beer in his hand.
Chavez are training at the 24-hour fitness.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell? And then I got Manny Pacquiao, who really is in some kind of real life, Rocky Balboa sequel, like trying to look like an absolute animal. This looks like a guy who's going to a fight on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
You guys see the difference in these training videos, right? This isn't just me, like.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, you can see all these videos. Am I making any of this shit up for the podcast, people? It's like two different universes of training. Did you hear the rumor the other day that they tried to beg Manny to stop training because he had put in so many hours consecutively? That was actually out there. Might have been the time.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, his videos. He did a lot of work in Hollywood and Hollywood Hills and all that. And
I gotta do the side lifts
out there.
No, Raimundo, I gotta do the sink. What are those dumbbells? Those are the ones my mom uses.
Oh my God!
Oh man,
that is
classic. His sparring looks like shit. He's doing planks. He's doing planks for the Pacquiao fight with a camera person. Did he just do a shot of the camera person? That's crazy. This thing's crazy to me. This whole thing.
Now you know why Freddie Roach and them have been laughing as they watch this shit around their phones.
All right. Here's my first question for our panel today. I will ask you first, Raimundo. Let me put the Raimundo puppet up on the screen. Hold on. Where's my Raimundo puppet? There's my Raimundo puppet. That's my Andrew puppet. There's my Raimundo puppet.
He's too high. You got to bring him down.
No, you're fine. There you go. You're center.
Oh, there he is. Boom. Got him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. I'll even put my image up. Oh, that's too big. You guys don't need to be. There we go.
What she said.
It's a three-way. Don't touch the tips. All right. First question is
Wow.
for Raimundo Puppet number 1. Oh, why did you block
Yes.
that? All right. Raimundo Puppet.
Yes, sir.
Did someone
Yes, sir. You
at
hear
the
me?
PBC, yeah, we can hear you. Did somebody at the
All right.
PBC/Fox/Floyd Mayweather, ready? Did they already get to Keith
Yes.
Thurman and tell him the fix is in?
Oh man. Well, hopefully he would cash out on that. Hopefully Floyd throws some bank at him. I don't know. I'm really intrigued on your thought that Floyd's gonna jump in the ring right after, say, "Hey, let's do this." May Cinco de Mayo 2020. I mean, that's interesting. And it would sell. Unfortunately, it would sell at least half of what it did the first time around, and we'd have to just sit around and watch the second one.
Okay. Andrew, based on the video we just watched, is the fix in for the Floyd?
The fix is not in for the Floyd. I'm going to blame this fight on Keith Thurman's. I think he has an injury. He's not it never healed right.
All right. Raimundo Puppet. Does
Yes,
Keith
sir.
Thurman not give a shit about this fight whatsoever?
Well, you know what? I mean, he's full aware that this might be his, biggest and last big check, So I'm sure that's got, that's a thought in his mind that he's gonna have his greatest purse after this, and then it's Florida time, where he can go play the flute and, do what other crazy things that we've seen him do.
Okay. Andrew.
Yeah.
Is this the same Keith Thurman we saw at the early days of the PBC? Or
Of course not.
Are we literally looking at a Keith Thurman that we don't care about?
If he loses Saturday night, it is one of the saddest falls from grace, I guess you would say, that we've seen in this sport in a while. Keith Thurman was on the pound for pound rankings. I've said that many times 2 years ago. He was top 5, I believe, in that ranking too. It wasn't like he had just broken the top 10. He was a star. He was undefeated. He had the look, right? We didn't really know how. I don't even want to call him weird, but he does a lot of oddball things that regular guys in the boxing world don't do. So he had that going for him. He was different. This injury that took place and kept him out of the ring, and the surgery, and then the comeback fight, and he just looked terrible. And Raimundo, I told Lee after that Lopez fight, I thought Keith Thurman had an eye injury possibly on the right eye because he couldn't stop the left of Lopez that night. It was really weird. Did you ever catch how many left hooks Josito Lopez was able to land on Thurman that night?
Oh man, that was just let me tell you, that was a great fight. Riverside is 10 minutes away from me. I had just interviewed Josecito like 2 months ago, and I had to talk to him about that fight and tell him how great he did, and how he really came in to win, and going into that fight, Josecito, he was known as a fringe contender. He was in some action fights already, and it was kind of seen like, okay, here comes Thurman. He's gonna come and knock out Josecito, and it's over, and Thurman's back. It was completely the opposite. And you're right. Those left hands were just landing, and I'm sure the New York crowd was just as surprised as us California boys over here watching it on TV. Like, oh shit, our boy, he's doing it. So I mean, yeah, Josecito, I've been covering his career, since, for 10, 12 years, 13 years already. And that was a great showing by Josecito, and something that Thurman kind of just scraped by. He barely got a decision kind of thing. And that's what people are pointing to is that fight, which is kind of fair, kind of not. Maybe, I mean, yeah, he had the layoff, but then again, this French contender that wasn't seen as like a big opponent, put it to him for 12 rounds. So you can only imagine what Pacquiao may or may not do. I want to know Lee's thought. Who are you picking? Who's your pick, Lee?
Okay. Well, I'm doing the betting show on Friday, and I'm not going to really pick until Bobby tells me what I should bet on. But with that said, I'm not hedging my bet. I think Manny Pacquiao wins this fight. I think that this is a setup. I think Thurman is – I am calling it right now. Thurman is going to pull an Oscar de la Hoya. Reaction.
Yeah, I think we do fine. I think we do fine, Lee, with our boxing betting. This one's not going to be hard. You stick with Pacquiao.
There's only one winner in this fight.
You stick with Pacquiao. Look at that right hand right there. Look at Thurman's head, you guys. I mean, you can't look like that versus Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao, look at that. I love all those punches. There's no way he walks through that with Manny.
I don't even know what he could be saying in the video. I don't know what kind of shit he could be talking, but I think it's hilarious that he could talk shit after taking shots like that on a PBC special in the background. I'm the best. Dude, you got hit by Josecito Lopez. I don't want to break it to you, but he's a journeyman. That's reality.
And there was punches that he clearly just couldn't stop. Like I said, I almost thought he had an eye issue. I know I texted that to you, Lee. There was so many left hands landing that night. We'll see what Manny's able to do, but if Thurman gets annihilated like Lucas Matisse, I think it's going to confirm that injury is what ended his career. He did have a desire to fight. It seemed like when he won his second title, he started with all that weird talk of, these guys, they're me a few years ago. He started doing a lot of interviews where he was dropping statements like that. So he did lose a little bit of the fire, but ultimately it's going to be an injury if Manny annihilates him, because Keith Thurman would not have been annihilated 2 years ago. The guy was on the rise.
What's interesting, Andrew, is all these I got the Boxing Insider email where all the fighters pick the winner, and the trainers and current fighters and legends, and it was surprisingly split. So there's a lot of people, or it's split. I guess it's 50-50 in the eyes of people who are in boxing, which is kind of surprising, because I think people are seeing Pacquiao as the favorite. He's most likely still the betting favorite in Vegas. What's the line at with your
He is a big
betting?
favorite, yeah.
He is? Okay.
He's,
okay. So
he's Manny's minus now about a buck, and he's a minus buck and a half last time we checked, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I believe so. 150, 155. And not only that, I think people are remembering the what he used to be, right? Listen, we can't go off a fight in 2000. Look up his record. Hey, Keith Thurman has fought in like 4 times in 5 years or some shit. It's something crazy. But the lack of inactivity, the way he looked in his last fight, his interviews recently. Just the other day, the guy said, "If I lose, I retire." Why would you say that? You're still in the peak of your prime. You're undefeated.
What is he? How old is he? He's 30. He's 30.
Yeah.
So,
and he's undefeated, Lee. He's undefeated. Oh, if I lose, I retire. Okay. Shit.
Jeez.
So he fought in January against Josecito, and then in 2017, he fought Danny Garcia to a split decision.
And keep going.
And then
What's the next one? He
fought in 2016 against Sean Porter. 2015 is Louis Collazo.
That's
in
4 years,
2015, he had 2 fights. He fought Guerrero and Collazo.
You already went 4 years on the 15, though. 15 to 19, you guys. That's what I mean. I can't put money on him. Bullshit.
Yeah.
No, you got to look. That guy right there on the screen. That guy with the Senator McJuicy Juice, right?
He's at least throwing 700 punches.
Would we not all agree that we thought it was a little odd that VADA it's not VADA for this, right? It's USADA instead?
No, they're gonna do the Nevada,
right.
which basically is nothing.
The pile, right?
Yeah, you know what I
Captain
read about
Juicy
that is
Juice.
that Nevada said that they're gonna do VADA quality or VADA style
Yeah,
of
because
testing, which
most
Bottom
most of
level.
the time, most of the time
VADA
they just
level.
pick up the cup, they look at it, and then they say if it's good or not. That's usually what the test is for the commission. But yeah, they're gonna do a little bit more this time. Maybe check them for like
Wow.
illegal drugs, not actually steroids. Make sure there's no cocaine, heroin, stuff like that. Probably go down to CVS, buy one of those test
Straight up,
kits.
it's straight up ridiculous. This thing is straight up ridiculous. If you guys cannot see that Keith Thurman is going to take a body shot or a left hand and hit the mat and then hit it just like Oscar style, he's going to hit the ground.
No, he's
He
not.
just hit me so hard and I couldn't catch my breath. Oh, that's a really tough 40-year-old dude. I guess I'm going to retire with the $5 million Floyd just gave me. That's what's going to happen here.
Hey, he might land a right hand. He's got one time, man. That's his nickname. He's got to land it.
You know what? I was all about Keith Thurman too. If you remember back, Andrew, after the first PBC show, I was pro Keith Thurman. He handled himself correctly. He had to see he didn't talk as much shit as everybody else.
Yep.
He was a good kid, right? And he just went down the drain. They just kept throwing more and more money at him, and he just came more and more fucked up. I mean, let's just be perfectly honest about it. He is a sterling. I'll tell you what he is. He is a crock pot of shit. Look at him.
What?
Look at him. Crock pot of shit. Crock pot of shit, bro.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to be so fast, he won't know what I'm going to do with him. Yeah, guess what, bro? You're going to catch a left hand from that old dude, and then he's going to plug one to your body, and then you're going to slap the mat just like Floyd told you to do so Floyd can walk through the ropes and go, that's the man I want to come out of retirement for. That's the real Floyd, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, and you know,
I can see that.
Go ahead.
I can see Pacquiao coming hard, early, because he's looking like he's in monster shape. He's probably going to throw 30, 40 punches around in those first few rounds. So it's going to be up to Keith. You don't want to get shown up by an old man, so you're going to have to trade, So I'm looking at the first few rounds as really telling in that fight.
Manny throws still 700 punches per fight. If he can't stop the left hand, he will be TKO'd late. It's as simple as that. He needs some major improvement. This is Lucas Matisse all over again. You can't stop the left hand. Remember, Lucas couldn't stop it. That fight ended real fast. But we knew he was blind. We bet on a right hand, but we knew Lucas had eye problems going into that fight. With this one, I was just very surprised about how easy it was for Lopez to hit him. So I'm expecting Freddie Roach and Manny to see that and be heavy on the left side.
Yeah, that'd be a good little thing. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts on Captain Juicy Juice.
Well, I'm just I'm doing what you're doing, Lee. You're on BoxRec right now, right? Just take a look at the records and stuff.
Yeah, I looked at you can't compare them.
Yeah,
it's like it's apples to tangerines. I mean, it's like I take that back. It's apples to watermelons. This guy right here has won multiple weight classes, multiple division fights every 4.5 minutes since he was 12, right?
Right.
And then we got another guy who took a 2-year layoff because. I heard something.
And then only fought 4 times in 5 years. You got to remember, in 2000, what'd you say, 15 to 17, he only had 2 opponents.
Right. He's been healthy for a while. He's still only had a fight since he's been healthy, Andrew. He's ridiculous. Keith Thurman is ridiculous. I don't know why he's not just honest about it and come out and say it. I got paid. I'm getting paid on Saturday, and I'm going to slap the mat.
You can't do that. That's why I won't even call it a fix. It's not his fault. Raimundo, will you tell him if he's injured and he went for his last pay? That's not Keith Thurman's fault, man. This shit happens. You just got to be on top of it, Lee.
Hey, you know what? And the great thing is he can walk out whenever he wants because PBC fighters, they're not signed to contracts, right? They're kind of
Yeah, I
like a
heard
case
that.
by case basis. So I mean, he can walk away after this if he wants. The sad thing is though, if he loses, like most people suspect, he lost to a guy 10 years older than him and
Right.
smaller than him. I mean, geez,
Which
that's
brings up the
got to be a little
question.
humiliating.
I'm with you, Raimundo. Okay, so I'm going to play this out with you, right? So it lowers his stock value. Bob's not going to touch him. UFC's not going to touch him. Whoever's not going to touch him, right? Golden Boy might touch him just because they don't have any fighters who've won
Dazen
anymore.
would touch him, definitely.
DAZN would touch
Right.
him, no doubt. But here's the thing. What if he got a DQ or an accidental headbutt or a weird stoppage or a low blow, or he looked for an angle to get out of this gracefully?
I would leave the PBC. Sorry, Ramon, I'm going to answer this one real fast. I would leave
Go get it.
the PBC as fast as I could, Lee. With all these pay-per-view fights, that means there's no more guaranteed money. They're hoping that these fights sell so they can pay these guys what they used to pay them. Get to that streaming app as fast as you can with ESPN or with DAZN.
There you go.
Yeah,
Raimundo, what do you think?
I'd piggyback on that, and that's something that was brought up by Steve Kim. I was texting with Lee earlier that in the past, Canelo, he would be able to fight whoever he wanted, no matter how much it made the pay-per-view wise, they would just eat it. But now they're contractually obligated to work alongside DAZN and pick opponents. So there you have it.
Right.
So now, that's what's going to happen now. That's where we're going. The pay-per-view platform's going to be dying down, and we're into the app world.
Yep.
I mean, just look at the video, man. Who looks like they're serious about Saturday night?
It's going to be interesting.
I would say Pacquiao.
It's going to be interesting to see how this ends. This fight ends. Kind of sad if Keith Thurman does gets walked through though, because you never like to see fighters get out because of injuries like this, but we'll see. It's same thing with Lucas. Even though Lucas had the opportunity to leave the sport without getting beat down, he came back for a check. He got beat down by Manny because of the injury. We'll see what happens on. It was his elbow, correct? Is it his elbow that he needed surgery on 2 years ago?
That sounds about right.
I think it was, yeah, right elbow was the one that got surgery. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right.
One thing. Go ahead, Lee. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, take it.
The right hand. You got to see how the right hand against Lopez. I don't remember it being effective. That's what I want to go back and watch for Friday's show. Are you doing a live show with just Bobby, or are we all calling in again?
No, you want to do a Saturday after the weigh-ins?
No, Friday.
Friday. We can do a Friday night. We can do something. Yeah. Let's do something for the podcast people, because we have a diligent following of podcast people, and we have a diligent following of the video people. So I like to give them each their own. Well, truthfully, the podcast people get everything, because they're our bread and butter, right? But the video people only get snippets. I kind of shit on them. They only get to see what I want them to see. Sorry, video people.
We need a soundboard, Lee, with Sergio Mora going, I need to do my homework.
I need to do my homework. I'm going to do my homework for this fight. Fucking Mora.
Lee loves that.
Fucking Mora. Don't get me started. I'm going to this thing on Friday night, right? I'm going to the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame thing they're having. It's like a fundraiser or whatever it is. So basically they have, I'm going to say it because they don't listen to the show, some crappy fighters, and you pay $25 and you can mingle with them. They'll give you free drinks, and they're going to raffle off a pair of tickets to Pacquiao and Thurman, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. In fact, I said I would buy a ticket because as you've seen on social media, I did some marketing for him and helped them with the event. But a friend of ours, Andrew, is doing the PR for it and said, you're on the list. I'm like, bro, I said I'd buy a ticket. He's like, buy a ticket. He says, you're on the list. All right. So I'm going to this thing, but would you like to know one of the names that they say occasionally shows up at this thing? Jesse Vargas. Now tell me, for the longtime listeners of this show, how compelling would it be if I got Jesse Vargas to review his Instagram on video with me? How fucking great would it be, Andrew? Tell me if I could pull that off. Would that not be the greatest video I've ever pulled off?
Raimundo, do you know about his obsession with the Mr. Vargas?
I do not. I'm intrigued.
He does not.
What's the story there?
I have new predispositions. Of course, Sergio Mora dates back to you for sure.
We're trying to get Mora fired. He wants Vargas on the American side of DAZN.
I do. Tell me Jesse Vargas isn't the best announcer ever.
He's all right, I guess.
He's better than Mora. That's not saying much. I think Manny Pacquiao might be better than Mora, and we can't understand Manny ever.
Freddie Roach.
Well, here's the thing. Keith is going to need a job after this fight because he's going to retire.
Oh, did you hear about the commentating, you guys? Hey, is your guy there yet?
What?
604. Is he
no,
there?
They're not. They're going to text me when they show up. They're going to text me when they show up.
Did you hear, like, they're all boxers? They're all Wilder, I think Spence, and someone else are doing the commentating? Is this real?
No,
really? For this Saturday?
Yeah, you got to look that up. But I believe, they're doing part of the telecast on this fight. It's like, goddamn, Heyman's trying to save money anywhere now.
Fox pay-per-view announce team. Let's see what comes up.
For Saturday night, though.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Broadcast team for PBC on Fox show will look like. No, that's old. Fox PBC. No, first Fox Premier Boxing pay-per-view. March 13, 2019. That's their first pay-per-view, right? I don't see any reports about it at all.
Yeah,
Fox
I'll look
Sports
on the
pay-per-view. No.
I know it was like 3 boxers. It was hella funny. I was like, are they going to call the
that's
fight?
That's what they had last time, right? When they did the thing in LA, didn't they have that shitty lineup of
Deontay Wilder cannot do a whole fight. That is going to be classic.
No,
classic.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
If anybody from the PBC listens to this show, this is only happening on the podcast. You guys listen to this podcast. Please put Deontay Wilder. You know what? Deontay Wilder and Floyd Mayweather do the commentating for the entire fight. Fucking best show ever. Best show ever. Highest ratings ever. Highest ratings. Deontay Wilder. Till this day. Look at that right hand. Till this day.
Oh, man. Oh
my God. And then Floyd would do nothing but, okay, well, when I fought Manny, I did this. When I fought Manny, I did this. When I fought Manny, I did this. And then literally sitting next to him is Deontay just screaming, till this day.
They would have Floyd be counting money at some point in the fight. They'd have him pulling money out of his purse.
Oh my God, they're comparing Blaney in between fights. Where'd you get that necklace?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This would be so great.
Well, I think I seen that on Facebook. So that is going to be interesting if they have a panel of 3 boxers.
Well, you can see Floyd too doing like an honor interview, like he's done in the past on Showtime, where he's not even fighting, but here's a camera, here I am, So, I mean, you can see him doing that, and I guess plugging May Pac Part 2. Cinco de Mayo 2020.
No way Canelo gives up that date.
No.
Oh, hey, there you go. Hey, there would be a date fight too, right there.
Yep.
Because,
yes, sir.
Oh man, geez, what are you gonna watch? And then, well, maybe with Canelo having the T-Mobile as his, fight venue, then Floyd and Pacquiao, they go across the street to MGM, same day. I mean, we've seen. Sergio Martinez fought Chavez Jr. on the same day that Canelo fought in Vegas as well. So dueling fight cards. I mean, we have to deal with that on a regular basis watching, boxing, right?
Let's throw something out there. Okay.
All right.
The fight is Saturday night. Canelo postponed his fight for September. Is there a possibility Floyd fights Devin Alexander
No.
in September?
Where do you get that? So, where do you get that?
In September, because you
Devin
really
Alex-
think he's coming back just to fight Manny in May?
Yeah, that's it. For $500 million. Yeah, I do. He wants $100 million.
They're not going to make that money. You're crazy. Lee, it's got to be a 3-fight deal. We already talked about this. He's not going to get $500 million for a rematch on one fight.
No, but he can make another $100 million fighting Manny. He can. If Manny goes in there and tell me that this isn't compelling, I'm going to set this script up.
Okay, but Lee, you're talking about Manny being in total train mode, in fight mode, and Floyd coming off of the couch after 3 years?
What have we watched leading up to this fight, Andrew?
4 years?
Right.
That's true.
You're
That's
paying
true.
to watch Mayweather's first loss to a guy who's continued to fight.
Well, I was just throwing it out there.
Knocks out Keith Thurman.
I was just throwing it out there. PBC has no problem putting on pay-per-views anymore. If Floyd could just get in with the sparring partner, he gets his September date right back. We know he's been in the gym. I don't think it would be. That's why I threw. It has to be an opponent. Look, at this sale would only be for the Floyd comeback, right? And it's only happening because he announced he would fight Manny in the rematch. Yeah. We'll see on Saturday night.
I think you're wrong about the first loss, Lee. You guys saw that video where Floyd got crossed over in his charity basketball game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a loss.
So that's loss number one right there. And yeah, there you go.
Not bad.
Not bad. And I almost went to that. I thought about going. Yeah, I thought about going too. I haven't gone before, but I know it happens every year. Now I wish I would have.
You know what was awesome about that? It was the announcer going, "You don't got to do it, Floyd. You don't got to do it." And then he just shook him right out of his shoes. It was like, oh, shit. That was embarrassing. That was a very embarrassing moment for Floyd.
Is it a surprise to anybody that I didn't get approved for credentials for this fight?
Oh, you didn't?
What a shocker, right?
Oh, man.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, I know. You guys both sound surprised. Almost have surprised down.
Well, wait a minute. We went over their heads last time.
Yeah. They actually wrote a longer, more detailed screw you letter than I normally get from them.
I'm going to say, Manny drives
Lee on there. That's it.
No, you know what? Okay. I talked about this with somebody else.
Once you put Lee on there, that's it.
No, this is just podcast content for our regulars. They already know the saga, and as do all the writers who listen to this show. By the way, they're busy writing down my rant on Floyd Mayweather to steal that idea for their press tomorrow. And I know who you are. We know who you are. Just stop stealing my headlines. Or give me credit. Here's the idea. Give me credit if you're going to use my crazy antics. The reality is it's probably not what I think it is. I probably just need to send them an updated press package with all of our numbers, and everything will be fine. If they fuck us over after that, then yeah, they hate me. Because I constantly just keep overturning them and talking about them. It's the fucking mafia, for God's sakes. You think I'd have any sense about this?
Well, you know what? I would throw this in, Lee. I would throw this in, Lee. If you're a media member, if you're a boxing media member, you have a story about getting credentialed. It just goes with the territory. It's ups and downs. It's ridiculous. It's politics. It's all. I don't think basketball writers or football writers deal with the kind of stuff that boxing writers do. And I'm sure you guys can feel me on that one.
And that's because we have 500 different bloggers, and I get that, but here's the reality: we did 5 million plus downloads this year of content. I think it's at 6.
Wow.
Or maybe 6. Like, we did crazy numbers so far this year. We're having a really good year. And by the way, that's why I'm doing podcast only material for you regulars. I appreciate you. Andrew appreciates you. We brought you Raimundo. You get those really nice international reports that they're actually really nice. Shout out to our international correspondent, right, Andrew? I mean, Sam Navajero is fucking killing it on the international shit.
Yes,
He's
sir.
clear, concise, and gets it done in 5 minutes on shit we would never cover. It's almost like a real boxing show now. It's kind of irritating. That's why I try to make the podcast special and do a full rant on El Chapo and ICE, just so that it feels like it's regular. The videos all look professional now. It's kind of irritating, actually. I feel I need to go off the rails and get into a fight with, someone or something. Do something stupid just for 12 views. What about the?
Well, you have your chance. You have your chance on.
What on Friday night?
Don't you have your chance on Saturday, Lee? You're going to. Or Friday
No,
night?
Friday night. Friday night's the deal. Maybe I should get into it with Jesse Vargas. I'm a full 3 feet taller and like 200 pounds heavier than him. What's he weigh? Like 50 pounds or something? Like what? Jesse Vargas is a little tiny man. I'm always amused at how much smaller they are.
I was at his last fight, Lee, against Humberto Soto, who's 79 years old, and Soto, he got some good hits in on Jesse. And at his post-fight interview, his eye was swelling up, and I couldn't help but notice it. I was telling my buddies, like, look at Jesse Vargas's eyes. He just got in a fight with an old man, and he's all busted up. So you got a chance, Lee. Go ahead.
I got a chance. All right. All right. So what are we promising the podcast people? Are we doing another show? Like, let's give a preview, Andrew. What are we offering this week? A bonus podcast on Friday night?
Yeah, that's it. Friday after the weigh-ins, we usually say what we wanted to happen, and that's it.
And there will be an exclusive video with the Bobby Capucci. I'll go and shoot that before the weigh-ins. Scheduled to meet at 10 or 11. The weigh-ins are at 1. Neither of you two turds are leaving your homes. So I will go be the boxing correspondent. I'm going to find a really loud, obnoxious outfit, right? Like a 70s tie, maybe plaid. And then I'm going to go over to that event on Friday night in like a really bad circa 1970s outfit. I'm going to try to go like the English crowd looked when they were in town for Tyson Fury. Like they don't know how to operate their laptops. They're operated on Steam or something. Like I could not even believe there were actual throwbacky writers from England covering Tyson. Like legit, like I thought they were going to pull out typewriters kind of guys. Like they were looking at laptops like they were mysteries to them. I digress. I've lost you both.
I'm slapping my belly.
All right, final go round. Raimundo, final thoughts, Raimundo, on this weekend.
Okay, Lee, I'm gonna go with Pac-Man, 12 rounds or 9 rounds. He's either gonna stop him or he's gonna bust him up, and that's it.
That's like saying El Chapo's either gonna hang himself or serve life in prison.
There is. There you go, Lee. You're gonna have yourself a good weekend in Vegas.
That level of analogy for this fight. It's either gonna be a knockout or it's gonna be a decision win. Yes, I agree. I can't disagree.
Yeah, a dynamite or a slow burn.
I'm very nervous that this fight gets stopped early if Keith Thurman gets hurt in the condition that he was against Lopez. If they are gunning to drive Manny Pacquiao, look, what me and Raimundo also talked about on here is even if it's not Floyd, they've got Spence. They've invested a lot into him to build Manny Pacquiao up one more time to get him to fight Spence down the line is another huge fight for PBC and Al Heyman on pay-per-view. So whatever it is, it looks like Manny is the one that everyone's hoping comes out with the win on Saturday night. Keith Thurman needs to watch himself. He can't get hurt. The decision, if it's close, if we see in CompuBox that Manny's got a few hundred punches over him, he's gonna win. He's gonna win on points. Keith Thurman's got a lot to be nervous about on Saturday. And just go in, keep throwing right hands. He's about that one-time punch. He needs to land it. I have Manny stopping Keith Thurman late in this fight.
And I will go with a Raimundo-esque response. Chapo will either hang himself or do life in maximum solitary confinement. Okay, no. Which, by the way,
that's it.
If you ask
will he become the leader of the Mexican mafia now? Like instantly, the leader of the La M was like, "Fuck, he's coming." Oh man, and got to give up rank now.
I don't know if it works that way, does it?
I don't, bro. That's like a pretty big guy coming to your prison. Like he gets jersey. You know how LeBron. You know how LeBron James isn't LeBron trying to give up his number right now? Nike was like, no. I think that the leader of the gang got to give up their number when El Chapo walks through the doors.
Wow. That recently happened on the chart.
Yeah, probably.
I digress. Okay, so I'm going to give a Raimundo answer. How do you people who listen to the podcast? I constantly question you. I get why the writers do it, because they don't have creative thoughts.
Are you going to use that?
Are you going to use that? Are you going to use that? At least I ask before I grab somebody's video, hey, can I use this? I wait, and if they don't respond, I take that as a yes. I mean, to be perfectly honest. All right, so here's my answer. I think Manny Pacquiao wins. I think he's going to win by liver shot. Everybody keeps talking about round 9, which worries the shit out of me, which means all the betting will be on it. So I like round 8. Right?
Every 9. I'm feeling 9.
You know what?
Everybody
Lee,
said 9.
You're going to be in Vegas, right?
I am.
We need to look at the prop bets. Don't let us get jacked by Floyd again. Remember when Floyd carried Conor McGregor to the 10th round at 18-1, the highest odds of the last 4 rounds?
And if you don't think he had $1 million on that round,
oh, damn it!
Of course,
Raimundo, I put like 300 on the first 3 rounds, dude. 100, 100, 100. The fucker had 18-1 on round 10. Ah!
Of course he carried him. The fight was fixed.
That was awesome. On purpose. That was the greatest carry of all time. And then in round 10, he just starts putting hands on him. You're like, fuck you, Floyd. Fuck you.
Right, without going to the gym. That's how good he is. He didn't even have to train for the fight to fuck him up.
18-1, boss. All right, I'll knock him out right now. It's done.
Yeah. This is the round. Okay. Whatever you need.
And then when he fights the young kid, they got no gambling, 30 seconds. Oh, go fuck myself. Whatever.
I think ultimately, Andrew, as we've discussed, I think Manny Pacquiao plus 350 to win by KO or TKO or stoppage.
It's a great bet.
Right? That's a great bet.
If you're just
Pacquiao at 3-1, 3.5-1. Come on.
Yeah. It's a great gambling bet. You're gambling. You're getting big money back if he gets it pulled off. The chances of it happening are high.
Paid for on a $100 bet, Andrew. You know how I like to bet. Can I get my weekend paid for? Can I get my steak paid for? Can I get my hooker paid for? That's the way it should be.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the Westgate has the best odds, if I am not mistaken.
They do.
So
we'll cover all that on Friday.
Go with that, Lee.
Okay. That'll do it. Check in with us on Friday. We'll have bonus shows for you on Friday. That'll probably be out Friday night, depending on my mood.
Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
Isn't Dillian White and Oscar Rivas fighting on Saturday too?
That on Friday night too.
Okay, there you go.
Badass fight. We'll see if Raimundo will join us again after his work. Maybe Andrew. We should get Sam as well.
Very nice. I got breaking news too.
All right, real quick, because they're here to move.
Oh, nice. Dillian White's fighting for the mandatory spot.
Okay, that's a funny way to end the show. He's going to be the number one contender when he wins the fight. That's fucking hilarious. Kudos to you, bro.
All right, guys.
All right, that'll do it for this week. Bonus shows this week. All kinds of video content.
Fight Night Radio. FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Night!